Hello everybody, today's video is part of a YouTube hop celebrating the Lollipop Box Club's birthday. 7 YouTubers, including Lisa herself from the Lollipop Box, are each sharing our best and favourite journaling tips. So when you finish watching my video, make sure to follow the link in the description to the next person in the hop, which is Kerry of Kerry May Makes, and continue to follow the links until you circle all the way around back to me. And if you're new to my channel and have arrived here through the hop, a big hello and welcome. My name is Grace, also known as ms.paperlover. That is Ms, not Miss or Mrs. I have a small little journal supplies Etsy shop, and here on YouTube I share junk journaling, creative journaling, mixed media, including mixed media art journaling. I have studio vlogs and the very occasional bit of scrapbooking as well. So to share my favourite journaling tips and techniques, I decided to just do a process video that included those tips and techniques. But I thought I would also start off with a quick flip through of my current journal so far, just to give you an idea of the kind of journaling I like to do. But with the flip through almost done, let's get started with the process and some of my favourite tips and techniques. Now I'm going to start off with what is the most drastic of my journaling tips, which is if your journal is getting too bulky for you. Now some people like a really bulky journal, and that's fine, but I get really frustrated if things are getting too bulky. I find it difficult to work in, so I just take out a signature. I know some of you will be going, that is a bit drastic, but you know what, I can reuse those papers, I can use them in something else. If you're not working in a handmade journal, it's still so easy to do that. If you're working in any sort of like a Leuchtturm, a Moleskine, anything like that, it's really easy to just take pages out by snipping out the string of the signatures, or even just ripping out page by page if you really want to. Don't panic about it is what I'm saying. It's so easy to do, it really doesn't matter, and your journal feels almost like brand new and easier to work with again. Of course, if you're the kind of person who really likes a bulky journal, then that's fine. But if you're like me and you start to get frustrated that your journal looks like a hungry crocodile gaping its mouth open, then just take out a signature. Now, my last signature did have a 1-page spread I'd done in it, and I wanted to put it back in the journal. So what I've done here is taken those 2 pages from the signature, washi taped them together, and as you see, I am just gluing them down in that extra space. So it's like one little mini signature of 4 pages. So I'm still including those pages I had created, but the bulk is pretty much gone now. So that's the most drastic of my tips. We'll calm down from here on out. So next up is using junk mail envelopes and happy mail in your journal. I'll talk about the envelope in a minute, but when I receive happy mail from someone, I love documenting it in my journal, and I like to use as many things that that person has sent me in those pages. It makes it more personal, I feel. So I get all the things they've sent me and try to include as many of them as possible to decorate my pages. As for the junk mail envelope, my favourites to use are the ones from HMRC or any sort of official boring government document letter thing, because not only do they have that, they're made of that really recycled brown craft paper, which is really thin, so it doesn't bulk out your journal very much. And then of course they have the window in for the address, and I love a pocket with a window. So I cut around the window shape because obviously my journal is quite small and the envelope itself was quite big. And behind the window, I often put some patterned paper or something there. I used a very large sticker from that botanist sticker book, so that when you've put something in your pocket, when you take it out, there's still something pretty to look at behind the window. At first, I was going to put that in straight onto the page on the right-hand side, but then I decided to actually make it into a tip-in. So I have used some paper that was sent from this person, the lovely Margaret from the Netherlands. If you're watching, hello to you. Sent me some really gorgeous happy mail. I think, was it the beginning of the year or the end of last year? Not 100% sure. End of last year, I think. And sent me so many beautiful things. As I said, I've backed it with that gorgeous paper and then tipped it in with some washi from my stash. And then on this page, another form of pocket I like to use, or tuck spot, whatever you like to call them, is a belly band, which is simply a strip of card or paper or whatever, attaching it at the top and bottom, and then it can just slide in and out. I like to staple them in because, you know, they're really secure. in there, but you can use glue, whatever you like. And I used that to put the letter that she sent me, and also just put a little doily behind it for an extra bit of decoration. Again, like the pocket, it's so when you take the thing out of the pocket, there's still something pretty behind it as well to look at. I had also gathered up some of the little notes she left within the Happy Mail, sort of to explain the little bits and pieces. I've stapled those together, and those are going in the little pocket junk mail tip-in that I made. And then here I am pulling out some really pretty die cuts from this die cut book that she sent me for basic decoration on that the reverse of that tip-in. Those little cards she sent, these are gorgeous. I'm going to keep using those, and I'm going around the edges of everything with Distress Oxide and Vintage Photo to give it that extra vintagey vibe. I am also going to include some scraps of ribbon on these pages. I like to use red line tape to glue down ribbon. I find it is the best and most reliable thing. Other forms of double-sided tape or other forms of adhesive, they will stick it on at first, but you will find they will start to come off very, very quickly. So something like red line tape, which is super extra sticky, I find it the best for any sort of material, fabric, anything that's not paper or card really. So I'm continuing to find little bits and pieces in the lovely things that were sent to me to use to decorate all these bits and pieces, and my pockets and belly bands and tip-ins and all of the things. These little cards were super, super cute. They were double-sided, so I did have some decision making to do about what side to use, but some of them I've cut up, so I can use the pattern on the reverse side, and then on the other side, like there might be a quote, but it's on the other part of the card, as it were. So cutting it up means I can use both things. And as well as the lovely, oh, I didn't know my phone was on loud, sorry about that. As well as the lovely bits that were sent, I'm just taking stickers and some rub-ons and things from my stash to add extra little bits of decorations. I know, by the way, I say rub-ons because I come from the scrapbooking world, and that's what we call them in the scrapbooking world, rub-ons. I think people who come from the more stationary world or something will call them print-ons or transfer stickers or anything, but anyway, just in case you were confused about that, I'm going to add my journaling on this lovely printed vintage-esque page and keep adding more lovely little bits of decoration and florals and stickers and all of the yummy things. Another little tip here is if you have lots of planner supplies, like decorative planner supplies, like this Manby sticker book I'm using here, they are also great for journaling. And I know to a lot of you that'll be really obvious, but a lot of people compartmentalize things and think this is a planner thing, I can't use it in my journal. Mix and match all of the supplies, they all work great together. Here is my cat coming to interrupt me as per usual. I don't know if this is a tip that, you know, a fluffy butt must be on your journal before you can continue, but I don't know, we can call it a tip if you like. But it's not a journaling session without me getting interrupted with meows and headbutts. So my main tip for this next spread is something that my regular viewers have heard so many times over and over again ad nauseum. They're going to hate me for saying it again. But if you fancy working in your journal and don't have anything to journal about, then just do it anyway. Just create something pretty. You don't have to document an event or a photo or happy mail, or you don't have to document anything at all. If you fancy doing something in your journal, just go for it. And then if you feel inspired to do some journaling later, then that's great. If not, I will often add little verses of poetry or something if I want there to be handwriting on the page, or if not, if there's no handwriting on the page, that's fine too. So I'm not documenting a thing on this page, I just wanted to create something pretty. But another tip which I have talked over, but hopefully you will have seen it just now, is when you are placing things across 2 pages. I see so often journal videos where people put things across 2 pages and don't do it in the right way, which will cause so much bulk to your journal. So I've got 2 things going across 2 pages here. One is that fussy cut card, which is from some packaging, and I've just cut it in half and glued it really close together. So you can see it's cut in half, but it doesn't really matter. You can tell that it's something that flows together. If it's something lightweight, such as the fabric I've used, glue it down on one side and then take something like a ruler or a bone folder or something and really press it into the corner, not the corner, the center, before you carry it over onto the other side. Otherwise you get this awkward little bridge gap between the actual pages and the thing you've stuck down. So as I said, this may be something really, really obvious to most of you, but I'm seeing it all the time on YouTube at the moment, and it's one of those things that stresses me out. It shouldn't, but it does. Here I'm creating, oh, when I stuck down those 2 fussy cut card pieces with the lovely butterflies and stuff on, I have just stuck them down with tape on the center edge at the bottom because they're both going to be little pockets or tuck spots as well. So here I am making some little tags. I used some other very pretty packaging with florals on. I've made one very, very wide one, which I took off and stitched with my sewing machine some scraps of fabric on. Now that fabric, if I had it right into the center of the page, again, would really, really bulk the journal up. So I have done it in a way that it actually sticks out at the side. It's a great way if you want to add something bulky, materials, buttons, flare badges, anything like that. If you don't want to add too much bulk, then add them to your page in a way that it sticks out of the side, then it doesn't add the bulk. And I love it when all of the things are coming out the side of a journal. I don't know what it is, I just think it looks so very pretty. To decorate those tags, I got out the Tim Holtz worn wallpaper, and then I remembered that I actually had some genuine vintage wallpaper myself to use, so that is what I added there. The flower piece is from those worn wallpaper scraps though, so I'm going to cut that in half and add it to both tags. So both of the tags are basically getting decorated with the same things. They're quite cohesive and tie in together. In the background as well, I did just added some old vintage book pages in the background, just very, very simple collage. And I'll go back and add a few more things to the background as well, because as you may have guessed when I was talking about the pockets earlier and having something pretty behind it when you pull out the main part, I do that as well when I've got a tag. So when you remove the tag, there's still prettiness behind it as well. Other things I've used to decorate my pages and tags, I have ephemera, Tim Holtz ephemera. I have used some ripped up bits of wide washi tape. I'm going in here with Distress Oxide in Victorian Velvet to add that lovely vintagey pink hue to it. I get asked sometimes, people will say, I really want to get into distress inks, what colours should I get? And I always say, it's such a personal thing, you should buy your favourite colours. However, saying that, my favourite kind of colours are blues and greens and pastel mint and navy and things like that. But if you were to ask me my 3 favourite distress colours that I couldn't live without, it would be Vintage Photo, Tea Dye and Victorian Velvet, which you wouldn't think are any of my favourite colours. So it's hard to give advice on that matter. But if you're into vintagey things, those 3 colours I would say are an absolute must. So I decided on the reverse of my tags. As I said, I had nothing that I particularly wanted to journal about, so I'm going to add some poetry. What I tend to do is choose a poem for each journal and go verse by verse, adding it throughout the journal. It won't be in order, it will be all over the place, but it's something to add. I think part of the reason I feel like I don't have things to journal sometimes is because I also do classic daily journaling in a separate notebook, you know, just pen to paper stuff, stream of consciousness, what I did that day, how I'm feeling. So because I do that in a separate place, it feels like I don't have things to write in my creative journal sometimes. And that's why I so often do these pretty pages of creating prettiness for no other reason than the sheer joy of doing it. So there we go. I had a little scrap of that lace left, so I'm stapling it up the top there as a little tab, but I decided the background needed more butterflies because butterflies are the best thing ever and I love them on everything. So pulling out my big stash of very thin paper butterflies, I chose 3, which I am just going to add to the background with a glue stick, and that is going to be pretty much it for these pages. So what are my tips really about remove a signature if your journal's getting too bulky, use happy mail, use junk mail, envelopes, use belly bands, use all the forms of pockets and tuck spots. Be careful when you're going across the middle of your journal, cut things in half or very carefully paste them right into the center of the journal. Stick bulky things out of the side of the journal. I think a lot of my tips are in regards to bulk. I think that wasn't on purpose, it just ended up that way. And then of course the tip of if you want to journal and you don't have anything to journal about, just create something pretty. It's your journal. It doesn't matter if you have anything to write about at all. Just enjoy the process of making pretty things. And I think that is going to be it from me. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much to Lisa for inviting me to be a part of this hop. As a reminder to go check out the other videos, the link to Kerry's video will be in my description and then her description for the next video, and on from there. I'm so looking forward to watching everyone's videos and what they have done, what their best tips and techniques are. I don't think everyone is doing a process video, so you might get different styles of videos and everything like that. But anyways, that is quite enough from me. Thank you so much again for watching. Lots of relevant links will be down in the description box to it, so be sure to check that out as well. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Chat to me in the comments, give me your best journaling tips, your favorite tips and techniques. I would love to know. And there we go, that really is it from me. Thank you so much again. I am going. Bye bye.